Am I the a-hole? My dad and his wife threw my mom's things in the trash, and I took them back out and refused to give them back. My mom died when I, 17 female, was 10, and my dad remarried almost 3 years ago. Last month, my dad's wife got mad at my dad for keeping so many of mom's things, or things that symbolized their marriage. He kept her engagement and wedding rings in a box, his own on a chain around his neck, my mom's postcard collection that she started as a kid, her favorite stuffed animal, a bottle of her perfume, her keychain, her passport holder, the cooking and baking books she used to experiment with, and a locket she wore all the time. My brother, 20 male, and I got her jewelry and other items she had. They were shared between us after mom died, and they're at our aunt's house for safekeeping. My dad's wife said she wanted all that stuff gone. The wedding photos, any couple photos of them, and any family photos with mom in them had to be put away. But the rest had to go. My dad fought back for a day, but then they started throwing all the stuff into garbage bags, and they were brought out to the trash. When they weren't looking, I took all of it and brought it to my aunt's to keep it safe. It took 2 days for my dad's wife to realize the trash was empty, and then she and my dad realized I had taken the stuff. My dad's wife went crazy and said they were in the trash for a reason. I told her I wasn't letting my mom's stuff go like that. She said it doesn't need to be in her house, and I said it wasn't anymore, so she wouldn't need to see it. She said it was nothing but bad memories, and that they didn't need to be in her and dad's marriage. I told her she didn't need to worry because they weren't dad's anymore. Dad told me to just give the stuff back to them and they'd deal with it, but I refused. His wife said she wasn't allowing that kind of disrespect in her house, and Dad said it would be dealt with. They asked a few people if they had them, and everyone said no, including my brother, who told them he thought they were both disgusting and that he didn't want to talk to them again. When that didn't work, my dad tried to convince me again, but he failed. He said I was making it worse. My dad's wife told me she's my stepmother and deserves more respect. I said she'll never be my stepmother. She'll never be my family. She's just my dad's insecure second wife, who'll never be good enough to be seen as family by me or my brother. I told her I'm not giving them back. She tried to get the police involved and accused me of stealing, but they brushed her off because I live in the house and took them from the trash. So, she said I'm a thief and the most disrespectful kind there is. She asked if doing this was worth hurting my relationship with them, and I told her I didn't care about having a relationship with her to begin with. I told her she was nothing to me and to stop acting like she has some kind of real authority over me. I told her I was willing to accept whatever consequences they gave, because I would be leaving as soon as possible, and nothing she said or did would stop me. My dad stopped her from taking everything I own as leverage, but he's still applying pressure. It's been annoying to deal with, but it could be way worse. But I came here to find out from outside parties if they think I'm wrong for what I'm doing. Am I the a-hole? Now for the top comments. Not the a-hole. Honestly, what the heck? Your dad's wife is crazy for even going to the police. You should run as soon as you can. That woman sounds like a psychopath because being insecure would not make her do those actions. Also, shame on your father for not defending you. It's memories of your dead mom. Of course you would want to keep them. It's not enough that it's out of the house and not in her husband's possession. She wants it in the trash and destroyed, so it can never be found again. She's so insecure. It's one thing for her to decide she didn't like having so many memories of your mother on display in the house, though it's very insecure to insist on none. But it's quite something else to insist they must actually be thrown away in the trash, rather than put into storage where she can't see them or stored in a relative's home. Those items obviously meant something to your dad for him to have kept them, and to try and argue against her actions before eventually giving in. So it's utterly outrageous that he's backing her in insisting she get them back so she can put them all in the trash. Genuinely disgusting behavior on her part, and utterly pathetic on your father's. I'm so sorry you're dealing with this, but I'm glad other family members have your back and are supporting you in keeping all these cherished items safe. Not the a-hole, not by a long shot. Oh yeah, she wants the symbolism of my dad throwing them out like she wants him to, not even just hiding them or giving them to me and my brother. She said she doesn't want to see them in our future homes one day, but she won't ever have to worry about that. Not the a-hole, but anything of yours that you care about needs to go to your aunt's house ASAP. Stepmom will 100% take it or throw it out. I already got the important stuff, documents out, and sentimental stuff, especially if mom bought them for me. All that's being stored at my aunt's house. Is your dad generally an a-hole, or is he just being walked all over? Not generally, but he might have been good at hiding this stuff too. Next story. Am I the a-hole for not giving my late fiance's ring to my sister? So, this has turned into a huge fight in my family, and I don't know if I'm in the wrong or not. I, 30 female, lost my fiance David 3 years ago in a car accident. It was horrible, and I'm still healing from it. One of the few things I have left of him is my engagement ring. I don't wear it anymore, but I keep it in a box on my dresser because it means the world to me. Last week, my younger sister Elsie, 26 female, got engaged, and we were all super happy for her. But then she pulled me aside and asked me for a favor. She said that since I'm not using David's ring anymore, I should give it to her, so she can use the diamond for her own ring. I just stared at her and asked if she was serious. She said yes, because it would be a beautiful way to honor David and also be practical since diamonds are expensive. I told her absolutely not. The ring is one of the last things I have of David, and I'm not giving it away. She got upset and said I was being selfish. Since I'm dating someone new now, I should be moving on and letting go of the past. I told her that moving on does not mean erasing David from my life. Then she started crying, which got my mom involved. My mom immediately took her side, saying that holding onto the ring is only keeping me stuck in grief, and that giving it to Elsie would help me move forward and be symbolic. I told them both to drop it, but Elsie keeps texting me, saying she deserves a family heirloom, just like our cousins got, and that I'm being cruel for keeping it to myself. My boyfriend is totally on my side and thinks Elsie is being ridiculous, but some in my family is acting like I'm the bad guy. So, am I the a-hole? She sees your ring as a family heirloom just because your fiancé died? Isn't that disturbing? She has zero right to the ring, not the a-hole. That was just an excuse. I bet the diamond is a good size and really beautiful. Her own fiancé probably can't afford the same, and she is jealous of it. The mom, immediately taking the sister's side, also screams spoiled golden child. She rarely got to hear no and thought the request was reasonable. Not the a-hole, and I would tell them to stop immediately. It's disrespectful, and that I'm blocking them for a week to think about it. If they mention it again, I'm blocking them a month and not going to the wedding. And immediately place that ring under lock and key. This was my first thought. Put that ring in a safe deposit box immediately. I might also threaten to call her fiancé and tell him, my sister is so sure you can't provide a good ring that she is harassing me for the last memento of my dead fiancé. Would she really like that? Him knowing he isn't enough without the right ring? Hopefully that would shame her into stopping it. If he is a grifter too, then you are in major trouble because they are shameless. Not the a-hole. Hide your ring. Often when family won't take no for an answer or pressure you to agree, they resort to taking the item even without consent. I will hide it. Next story. Am I the a-hole for telling people the real reason why I skipped my friend's wedding? I, 35 female, am still friends with some of the people I went to college with. One of them, Debbie, 36 female, got married this past January after being engaged for 2 years. Early in the planning process, Debbie had asked my 6-year-old daughter, who was 5 at the time, to be the flower girl. We agreed, and she had the dress sent to us right away. We barely spoke about the subject for a while. Then the wedding was delayed by almost a year. The original date was in March of 24. I'm still not sure why. I've heard 3 or 4 different reasons. By the time the actual wedding date came around, the flower girl dress did not fit my daughter anymore. We didn't find out until roughly 10 days before the wedding, admittedly my fault, and I texted Debbie right away to ask what I should do about it. Her first reply was, figure it out. I tried to ask her where she'd bought the dress, where I could get a similar one, or whether it would be okay for my daughter to wear a different dress. I basically gave her a list of ways I could fix this and asked her what she preferred. Debbie responded with, "I don't have time for this. Stop making your whale daughter my problem." Obviously, I decided against attending the wedding after that. As far as I'm concerned, we're no longer friends. And to be clear, I know that up until this point, I was not the a-hole. I didn't tell anyone about it at first, but our absence was obvious. My friends missed me, and my daughter was supposed to be the only flower girl. Whenever Debbie was asked about it, she apparently just said we'd had an argument, but it wasn't a big deal. When our mutual friends and acquaintances asked me, I told them the truth without sugarcoating it or trying to defend Debbie. I even showed my friends the text messages that proved everything. Everyone took my side. About a week ago, Debbie called me. She apologized for what she said about my daughter, but told me I have no idea how stressed she was at the time. She said it wasn't fair for her to lose friends over a mistake she made when she was under so much pressure. Again, I don't think I was in the wrong for skipping the wedding, but I'm wondering whether I took it too far by telling our mutual friends why. Edit: Yes, I know I should have made sure the dress still fit sooner. I already know that was my mistake, and I'm not blaming Debbie for it. That's not what I'm asking about. Now for the top comments. Not the a-hole. Doesn't matter how stressed and overwhelmed you are, you never talk about a child or adult in that way. That's part of the reason why I believe I might have been the a-hole. I don't believe she would have talked about my daughter that way if she wasn't extremely stressed out. Obviously not an excuse, but certainly something I have to take into consideration. The fact that it even crossed her mind is reprehensible and unforgivable. If she had had a go at you for not checking until now, that would be understandable as stress. The fact that attacking a child's physical appearance, when a wedding had been delayed 2 years so of course it wasn't going to fit, was even a possibility for her, makes her someone you should not continue to associate with, and she's now reaping what she sowed. What ticked me off the most about what she said was that she insulted my daughter over something beyond her control. The dress didn't fit because she's growing up, and not for any other reason. I deliberately choose not to buy my friends' children any clothing because I know they're unlikely to last long. Stop making your whale daughter my problem. She actually said that? And you're asking if telling the truth somehow makes you an a-hole? She spoke her truth. Why can't you? Now she has no friends and is trying to backtrack. Shaking my head. Not the a-hole, but you would be if you accepted her back as a close friend, even after an apology. I won't. I will appreciate any apologies that come my way, but we're no longer friends. Next story. Am I the a-hole for telling my ex-husband I don't care what his girlfriend did to him? My ex and I are long gone, but we have kids, so we see each other often. He complains about everything and believes I'm his therapist. I never cared what he talked about because it's irrelevant. My ex-husband Kevin and I have been divorced for 2 years now. We had been married since we were 23, but he had to ruin it. During our marriage, I saw how far apart we had grown. Kevin had a work wife named Jen. To be honest, I never understood why anyone in a relationship wanted a work wife or work husband. I felt like it was disrespectful. For context, Jen is 24, I'm 34, and Kevin is 35. When Kevin was 26, he was in a bad car accident that left him paralyzed. He was still able to move around and continue working. He didn't have a brain injury, but he started understanding things more slowly than usual. One thing I can say is that he did a lot of work in his wheelchair. He didn't like when people tried to baby him about it. At the time, I didn't think anything of Jen because she was just a co-worker. But then he started spending more time with her and even brought her over for dinner. He missed our anniversary to go out for her birthday. By that time, I knew something was going on, but I really had no proof. Funny enough, Kevin revealed it for me. I saw his text messages with Jen. They were very sexual. You would have thought they were a couple. He wasted so many years of our life together for this? We have kids, but clearly he didn't care. If he was happy with her, then good. Now we both co-parent, but I mostly take care of the kids. They go to their dads, but they'd rather stay with me. Kevin and Jen are still together, and they have a 4-month-old. I found out Jen had to leave college because they had a baby. Recently, Kevin has been texting me about the things he and Jen are going through. They're having trouble in paradise. I would always ignore his messages because it has nothing to do with me. They need professional help. But this happened again. Kevin told me Jen stole his credit card and left him with a baby. She's been gone for 3 days, and he doesn't know where she is. It's not my relationship, so he needs to figure it out. This was the first time I actually responded to his nonsense. I told him I don't care what his girlfriend did to him and to stop telling me his business. He said that he was hurt and that I was being an a-hole to him. He literally fooled around and is finding out the grass isn't greener on the other side. It's greener where you water it. The grass is always greener where the dogs have been shitting. Exactly, not the a-hole. He chose Jen over you, wasted years of your life, and now wants you to be his emotional support system when it all falls apart. Nah, he can take that mess elsewhere. He fooled around and found out. The grass wasn't greener, it was just fake turf, and now he's stuck with it. Not your problem. Keep ignoring his nonsense and focus on your own happiness. Kevin had a nice vacation and he's ready to come home. He's testing the waters to see if you'll have him back. He likely is the type to not want to be alone, so won't leave until he has another woman to shack up with. Agreed. It's funny how he thinks that complaining about his current girlfriend to his ex will woo her back. Not the a-hole. Not the a-hole. When my ex-boyfriend of 6 years reached out to me to complain that he and his wife were going through a horrible divorce, I told him they deserved each other and that he was getting it back in spades. She was my best friend. He had bought a ring for me and we were planning a life together. They were having an affair all along. Good. You are both screwed and you are finally getting what you had coming to you. Leave me out of it. Frankly, I don't think you told your ex-husband enough about what you thought. Protect your mental health and shut down all non-shared kids' conversations with him. Isn't it bizarre how someone can be so brazenly hurtful, yet think it's okay to reach out for support? It's downright cray-cray.